And for my next trick, I will saw my son in half. Alright, little Timmy. Where's the rest of your body gone? If you're new, Gravy Timmy, or not even a Gravy Timmy just yet, go down, hit the subscribe button. Wowzers. And you're not too certain what a Paradox Mega Campaign is, well, let me introduce you to it. We go from CK3 into EU4, into Vic2, into Hoi4, all on the exact same save, with the exact same nation. Now, I've done a few of these on the channel before. All of them have led to some interesting characters with some interesting wacky hijinks. And I gotta say, a mega campaign is incredibly fun. But first, before we get into anything, I do have to give a big shout out to all the people that make the converters to make the mega campaign possible, which you can find all the links down below in every single one of these videos. Also, if you ever want to go ahead and support the channel and the mega campaign by making fan art, as people usually do, you can go ahead and tweet it at me on my Twitter right here, send it to me on my Instagram right here, or just carry a pigeon. But yes, it's been another fantastic year on the channel, and it is always fun to end it off with a mega campaign. And again, if you've been enjoying the videos throughout the year, feel free to hit the sub and the like button down below, or else I'll chop you in half, just like Timmy down here. Right, I won't lie, I was 100% a little bit perplexed as to who to play this time around and what region we'll be going for in the mega campaign. Now, I've played quite a few nations already in the mega campaigns. We did Spain, we did England into the US, we did recently France and into the Crusader Kingdoms, and then obviously we did the Legend of Shang too. He was an interesting fella. And today I want to do something unspeakable. I actually want to stay and play in Europe today. And today I think I'm gonna have to make a few adjustments to the little countdown here. Very carefully, dear viewer, as I turn this man into a raisin. Alright, let's say you want to make an intimidating Viking. How do you do that, you may ask? Well, it's quite simple. We want to go ahead and okay, you need to intimidate your opponents by getting very large. Extend your body as much as you can to scare off the threat. Wait, this is black bears. Your Honor, my client left the northern lands to pillage Europe for all its wares and riches. And just the fact he may or may not look like a banana from the side profile is irrelevant. You always have to be very careful when you get down to jaw forward, because you can go from like the ultimate Chad right here to something yeah, not quite. We've gone back a few thousand years to Neanderthals. Ain't no way I cannot name this unearthed caveman but one thing. Alright, Count Chadder of the county of Montagu. Alright, this just ain't gonna do it. I need something way more intimidating, way cooler for our dynasty coat of arms. Thankfully, here's one I made earlier. I think it's very Viking-like. It's very intimidating. I'm saving it. And now people will take me seriously. Alright, now we're not too interested in changing the actual county down here because as we are playing a Viking, I don't really plan on staying here. But more importantly, we need to make our little Count Chad a bit more, well, first off, he needs to be way stupider than that. You sure you want to play as this guy? Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, there he is. And I see you found yourself a nice little hat while I was loading in. So, here we are in the small little province of France here. How we got here, we're not too sure. I think we got a little bit lost while raiding and pillaging, which of course we plan on only doing a lot more of. So, first off, we need to get ourselves situated somewhere we actually want to be. Whilst France is a wonderful country full of interesting characters, I don't want to be here again. And with the Viking DLC to CK3, I think, it gives you a special option in Casus Belli against other nations to do a Varangian adventure and actually go over there and move. We're going to need a bit of prestige to do it though. So for now, we're just going to sit here for a little bit, make a bit of money, and then get the hell out of Dodge. You know, I can think of no better way to raise a bit of money than doing a little bit of pillaging. We don't really have a lot of troops at the moment, so we kind of have to go somewhere we know we can raid. So I'm just looking for people that have a lot smaller armies than me at the moment. There we go. Anyway, we got 151, and we are going to go ahead and do a hunt, which should give me more than enough prestige at this point to do whatever the hell I want. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot. I need to be at least distinguished, so a little bit more prestige will be needed. Okay, so this is the problem with being around France and just Northern Europe in general, is that everything within a mile radius has been pillaged already. Probably also find myself a nice lady to keep me company, if you know. Why are you wearing sunglasses? She's got 21 martial, but she is 33, but I'm gonna do it anyway. My beautiful wife, go. Now, increasing my levies and then also marrying with the extra martial has given me a much larger army to raid with, which is gonna come in handy. My new boy, Hakon I think we're gonna have to get him a much better name than that. Chadderson, of course. She did not last too long not being pregnant there. She's immediately popped another one in her, eh? Here you go. Finally, we have hit a distinguished level of fame, which means it is time for us to leave the horrible, horrible lands of Northern and Western Europe and go to the south where the riches of untold prospect lie. Now, I'm thinking that Sardinia will be a good base for us to start off. They don't have a lot of troops, but they are in such a good position for us to do a lot of raiding over in Italy that I think it's where we're gonna go. So we shall lead our Varangian adventure against the Duchy of Sardinia. Count Chad has been waiting for this moment his entire life, and it is time to strike. So we're being careful here. I am leading the battle myself, and we should have this on numbers alone. I have a incredible amount of martial skill, so this should be completely fine, I hope. Please don't lose the battle, Chad. I don't know why the hell you look like that. Well, they actually went off the province and sieged this down, which means we then get a defender bonus on it anyway. So yep, we just absolutely smashed them. Sardinia shall be ours. Alright, there we go. Excellent, we have moved. Money I just got there, I'm going to invest into some much better units. Now, Huskars and Varangians are both very good, but also very expensive. But they are also pretty much the best heavy infantry in the game. So I'm going to get one of them, and it's going to hurt just a little bit. A big problem with what we're doing, moving further away from Northern Europe, is that we're getting further away from our holy sites, which means realistically we're probably never going to be able to reform our religion. Because at some point we probably will convert to a religion. I'm just not too sure which one yet, but for the meantime anyway, we've got way more pillaging to do before we think about becoming civilized. I just gained the nickname the Unrelenting Y'all Chad. You're getting quite old now. You're into almost your 40s, so we should get yourself a bit of a beard, I think. Looking so much better. Yeah, your old Chad's starting to look like he may try to wash your windshield for you at a stop sign. Right, now that is a raiding army. Italy is just free real estate for loot. Well, I had to come back very quickly to deal with the peasant uprising, which I don't think they know was about to hit them. Yep. There ain't nothing stopping me here. I am having a field day. Bonus of also doing all this raiding is I'm getting a lot of people to ransom back to the towns and villages that I have pillaged. You know, you're looking awfully square, son. Of course, the ultimate raiding target would be Rome. I do want to go ahead and, you know, knock on the Vatican's door and help myself to their coffers, but I'm going to need just a wee bit of a bigger army. I accidentally walked in some Italian land there, and I think I just absolutely destroyed them. I'll keep on raiding. The more battles we win, the more my glory is told across the world, and the larger I can grow my realm. We go. Sardinia fully under our control now. Y'all is very happy. His wife kind of giving him the stink eye, though, right now. Sure why, I haven't even taken any concubines. Yeah, okay, calm down, lady. Why would he take off those damn sunglasses? I am going to try for a bit of a hit and run on Rome. As you can see, there is a lot of loot to be had. 53 alone in Rome. But it all comes down to whether or not I can win this battle, and I won it quite easy. Thank you very much, Pope. And the raid of Rome commences. Now, of course, y'all Chad walking into Rome and pillaging it is one thing, but taking it would be a whole other... Oh my god, literally, they just got Crusades as I say that. Yes, while I do really want to take Rome, I can't just, you know, waddle on over. We're gonna have to wait for an opportune time, because as soon as we do, he will raise 10 billion holy orders against me. In time, though, we shall keep the coffers full and plentiful so we can keep growing and getting stronger, and this time we're taking a little visit to Greece. And sieging down Constantinople alone would be pretty impressive, considering it has 90 loot in it, but that'd be one hell of a feat. But we can raid everything else around it. Don't mind if I do. I think we just barely won that battle. Okay, we need to, yeah, we've overstayed our welcome. Let's get the hell out of here. And we got wounded. My son had a son. Chadderson of Chadson Chadder. So I guess we'll call him Chadderson Son. Chadderson Son. Now, we are Norse, but I think it may be time to diverge our culture too. There are a few bonuses to doing this, of course, and creating our own culture, or at least merging with the Sardinian one, would probably be the most beneficial thing we could do. To merge it, we wouldn't be able to do that just yet, at least until I get a throne room, become a king, because we're gonna need cultural acceptance, which, yeah, we're not very accepting of, but we could definitely diverge our culture away from Norse. The thing I wanted to change was to get battlefield looters, which gives us gold from battles and a bit more looting capacity, but we get way less prestige and fame from battles, which is completely fine, as I can get prestige many other ways, but gold, not quite. The Chadders culture. The worst thing ever, but yeah, I do plan on merging with Sardinian when I can, so don't get too used to looking at the Chadders culture. Also, this is good. The reason I did it in the first place is because now that I am head of the culture, I can actually go ahead and be in charge of doing the innovations, whereas if I was still in Norse, it would be left to King blah 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 of Bjornsson. Next up, I want to create the Kingdom of Sardinia, which means I'm gonna need Corsica off Italy, which I don't think will be that bad. They don't have a lot of troops, I hope. Please don't go badly. Don't have any siege equipment, but we did pick up ourselves the military engineer, which it speeds it up quite enough that we don't really need them just yet. And there goes the Italians. They are, yeah, not looking too fresh against me. Really making me come siege down their dumb little capital, and they've moved back. I'm gonna go burn it to the ground. And I've stolen his daughter. She's mine now. I also stole one of your shiny trinkets. Don't mind if I... That's a lot of prestige. Nice, I'll take that. I think I beat up Italy a bit too much there. They've turned burgundy colored. Okay, so now we need to form Sardinia is 500 gold, which we don't currently have, and I'm not willing to go raiding because I'm a little bit, ouchie. I have an ouchie. Wife kicked the bucket. New wife looks suspiciously similar to the old one. Healed up. Gonna take another visit to Rome and fill the coffers up. Okay, yeah, there you go. I can hold 528 gold now on a raid. That is pretty nice. Well, let's see how much money I get from this battle too. So I'm at 180 and 196. Nice. I can just beat up the Pope too and I'll get even more money. Chadderson has been murdered. I can only assume that it was my other son that probably did it. Well, you know, I didn't preemptively name you Chadderson. I didn't expect you to kill your brother, but we'll see if he did kill, his brother when we take over, I imagine. I guess now, we're not gonna be Chadderson, we'll be, Chadderson's son, Chadderson's son of Chad. We should definitely be careful of who you hang around. You are probably enemy number one of a certain son of mine. New wife immediately gave us another son. The inheritance was going to be very tricky, I imagine, but that is not a problem for y'all Chad. because he'll be dead. Boom. The kingdom is now secured. And that's just... I held court, and immediately someone's come to me complaining that a monster is killing their cattle, so I guess I'll go deal with it myself. And now I'm also just fighting someone. Come to the King of Sardinia. Hold court with him, where he will fight you. Yeah, just another day in the court of Sardinia, you know, just Mortal Kombat. I was born into this world very stupid. This man is attempting to teach me how to read. Now, officially, have one smart. You know, conquering Italy might not be the easiest thing overall. I think it could be profitable, but probably not just yet. I mean, it's 921 AD right now, and holding on to this land without a proper succession will be a bit of a pain. So whilst I was looking at the Pope and thinking he would be a tasty snack, I'm instead going to look down here to Tunisia, where there is a child in charge. A very weak child, who just so happens to have a kingdom I can snatch. I think that wasn't too difficult. There also was someone else, and the child got overthrown. Yeah, look at that. That's a nice bit of extra land. When did I get the delicious face of Jesus? A collection of saffron cakes that bear the resemblance of Jesus. Won't lie, King Chad is not feeling too great at the moment. His health is lacking. Probably down to the fact I got myself the Great Pox, which, yeah. It's time for my Great Pox treatment, and I think there is no more time for caution. We must go straight in. And it's not like we're really gonna live that much longer anyway. We're 82. Yeah, that did not go well. Ouch. She just chopped off one of my legs. Great. We are reaching the end of our lifespan right here. I have gone ahead and made the succession safe. So it'll go into our second son, who, you may remember as the person who probably killed our first son. And as looking at his kills and how many people he has murdered, it's looking very likely he did. Just gained the trade lunatic, which I refuse to believe I just gained. I'm pretty sure people have just found out. Just look at him. Come on. Yeah, I don't see us holding on much longer at this point. And the sad part is our son has just gained the infirm trait too, so he won't last too long either. Somebody's trying to murder me now. I have no doubt that it's probably my son. We're gonna die right now. There's only one thing I think that's fitting for us to end our life on, and that is a good pillage. And there's no better place I'd like to raid than Constantinople. Alright, let's see if we can take this army. It's gonna be very risky. They have a lot of horsemen. Oh, same. We're going to win. Let's see. No, we definitely are not going to win. Okay, ouch. You know what, though? We did way more casualties than they did to us. I'm gonna go back and give that a second shot. Coming back? Where have they gone? Are they at war now? Okay, they're at war. Maybe they'll be too busy to deal with it. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can just burn Constantinople to the ground, and I can! Right, it's time for my Great Pox treatment. Am I going to die while raiding Greece? Okay, no, she actually did chop off my leg by accident this time. That's just absolutely great. I'm still poor. Okay, maybe we can make it back to Italy before I die. The grand raid on Constantinople was achieved. I think that is something to be proud of. Now, I don't actually want to keep Tunisia. Whilst it would be great, I think it'll only become a bit of a problem when it comes to succession later down the line. We're a long way off any law that's actually useful for us aside from like elective. So I'm just gonna create the kingdom and give it to my son down here. There we go. We've got the little Viking kingdom of Africa down here. Hopefully he keeps a hold of it. Realistically though, probably not. Kind of tempted to do the same thing over here in southern Italy too, against the dwarf king of Naples over here. But we'll wait until we have a different character, as Y'all Chad is, well, he's not in the best shape right now. I just outlived the Great Pox, but yeah, I'm still dying. Probably from being a drunk lunatic. Hey, age 90 though, y'all Chad, the unrelenting of Sardinia, who is one-eyed, not one-legged. Apparently I misread that, or I just, it was a dual option and I got the one-eyed option. So, Those spectacles make even less sense now. I am just so surprised that you are still alive that I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to attempt to kill the Pope. I think it's time. Again, I keep saying we're at the end of our life, but somehow this guy just... Die already, King Chad! We are gonna try it though. We're gonna attempt to kill the Pope. And also hire my own holy order, which is the Vikings, which have been created, which will hopefully help me against Pope, as he does get holy orders too. Right, so far though, he's only got 6.8k, which we're easily gonna be able to defeat. No way about that. God, I will be dead within a year. I'm gonna be able to siege this down in time before I die. King Chad quite literally fell at the last hurdle. We had to regroup and come back to Sardinia as our army majestically blew up as soon as we got this inheritance. And surprisingly enough, he didn't actually kill his brother. I am so sorry to have fought that badly of you, son, but you have murdered a lot of people. Can we somehow still salvage this war? I hope we can. Pope has just sent his army away. Now is the time, I think. Well, the Pope was busy with a crusade, I imagine, which is probably why he left with the entire army. He just arrived back as soon as I was about to get the siege done. Nice! You know, I think it's safe to say that the siege of Rome for now will, well, we didn't get it. Unfortunately, it's just out of our reach for now. Doesn't mean I ain't gonna raid him though. I'm gonna raid my money back that I just gave him to peace out. Surprisingly enough, our half-brother over here is actually keeping the kingdom together quite well. I'm actually a little bit surprised with that one, but it does inspire me to put more brothers on more thrones. Just died in prison, but just looked at my other heir. Excuse me? So finally, we can go ahead and do our merging of the cultures over here, which I've been wanting to do for a long time, because that's going to go ahead and give us a whole bunch of tech that we, well, never gonna get. I don't think Sardinio Chatters is gonna be the name we're gonna call it though. Much better. Chat-Italian. We go. The Chat-Italian people have emerged, which means I think these provinces up here actually converted too, which is very, very nice. More importantly, it means I can actually now get some siege equipment, which I'm going to need to actually kill the Pope efficiently. Let's give it a second go. Failed quite horrendously the first time we tried this, and the second time we tried this, but this time, maybe. Oh no, we just got absolutely hammered again. Uh-oh. I did call my brother in and expected his army here too, but he immediately got declared war on for these guys down here, which, yeah, that kind of ruined the war for us. So I killed them, and now hopefully my brother will come and help me. Okay, the Pope has every single holy order under the surface of the earth here. We'll give it a go anyway. We don't have this, sadly. We'll have to try again for the fourth battle for Rome. And the very forgettable realm of King Srocco was put to an end very quickly. I guess I am now King Farquaad. Amazing. Let's just immediately just sort that hair out for you, shall we? Okay, that is the guy from Hot Fuzz that goes... Yeah. A great big bushy beard. We are on a string of bad luck in this kingdom. Dying of pneumonia right now. Oh, he's dead. This is it though. We are now on King Chatterborn, or Cheetahborn. I'm gonna have to change that. Sorry, but we have a long history in this family of being unable to read or write. You see, if I actually just go ahead and raid the Pope can't do anything to stop me. I think it's time we steal another kingdom. Now, ever since Mr. Chad himself died, we've been on a bit of a downward spiral. And now it is time to turn it around with Chatterborn himself. Definitely nothing hard about that, and Italy has been taken. Of course, I don't really plan on holding Italy once again. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to someone else, but to have another Viking ally would be great, as Well, it kind of looks like the other one has shrunk in the wash. I don't really have any relatives alive. I've only got one son, and she's 51, so she's probably not going to give me any more. But I went ahead and got a cousin from Africa. I brought her over. She had a son, and I put him in charge. So hopefully the baby doesn't... He's 0 years old, by the way. He was just born. But I did convert a whole bunch of the people under him beforehand to our religion. So it should be fine regardless. Hopefully if he does get overrun, it's by someone of the right religion. Yeah, Italy just immediately exploded. But this was okay too. You know what? Just as disunified Italy is fine with me. Oh, also, if you wanted to know what was going on in the rest of the world right about now, yeah, it's probably best you didn't know. I'm gonna start taking a few concubines, as I could do with a couple more sons to start putting on dukedoms and counties as far as I can. We're only 46, so we should be able to spread our influence a bit more, man. So we can also go down the pillage legacy here, and if we actually do this, we get another 5 gold per 100 casualties, which if you stack that with our culture one that we already have is pretty damn good. Yeah, this one gives us 1 gold per 100, so that is a lot more gold coming in. Let's go ahead and test it right now. Let's go pay another visit to the Pope. So we got 207 right there. Let's see how many we get after we win this battle. And we got... That's a lot of gold. Let's go beat up the Pope a second time there. So we got 309. We beat him, we get... Yeah, so note to self, if you're ever running low on cash, just go to the Pope, hang him upside down from his ankles, and shake the pennies out of his pockets. Not only did I just get like 800 gold or whatever from beating up the Pope too, just from raiding as well, I got another 400, so... yeah, that was quite the haul. Here we go. I've just been spending the time creating another North African state, and I've put one of my sons, King Chadderborn's son of Chadwick. He's now gonna have to hold that kingdom down together, and we still have Africa too. They're doing okay. Italy was a very failed experiment, but there is someone still actually our religion over there, so I guess we had somewhat of a lasting impact. Well, Chadderborn, you actually led probably the most successful life since our first ruler, and yeah, it's actually a shame to see you die here. I am gonna give it another go to take Italy, and hopefully this time it sticks. I think I just captured the king and won the war immediately. My nephew is still a duke over here. Oh, that makes things a lot easier. Oh, and I think this time I'm gonna be keeping Italy myself because you cannot be trusted. Okie dokie. This is why I've been a little bit apprehensive on taking too much land, especially in Italy. The Pope's got a word, and he's not too happy. Hear me out. What if I kill the Pope before he kills me? Uh-oh. The crusade fails. Did I just glitch it out by declaring war on the Pope? Did my preemptive strike work? My god, is this it? Is this the time I finally beat the Pope? Every time I beat one of these armies, my money just goes up. That was an 11k army. What's that gonna go up to? Oh! Dude, this has finally sieged down Rome. Oh my god. Okay, oh joy. My god, after 100 plus years of humiliation, we have finally done it. But not before I go beat up the armies. We have finally beat the Pope. There we go. He's gone! Literally, generations of our family have failed to do this. You know, I think it's almost time for a bit of a rebrand for our kingdom, too. It's finally time to conjure up an empire. We could be the Empire of Italia, but I don't think that's quite fitting with our heritage. There is one more thing I want to do before we finish up here, and that is to reform our religion. You see, I was originally thinking about actually just finish converting to Catholicism, but since we've kind of beaten Catholicism into the ground, I don't think that's fitting at all. To reform our amazing religion, we are going to need 3 holy sites. We have 0 holy sites, and they just so happen to be where we left. So we have a few to choose from, and I think the easiest ones we're gonna get is probably the one in England, and then the 2 in Sweden right now. It is time for the long, arduous trip home after all of these years. Please, we're back! We're just like you, but Italian! Catholics have foolishly launched a crusade against me, and I can only imagine how much money I'm about to make from all this. Ooh. Okay, money not so much, but the piety, now that's actually gonna come in handy. Papal shenanigans down, let's go back to trying to reform the faith. Hey, there we go, we've got all 3 holy sites now, and now we just need a whole bunch of piety and we can reform the religion. Finally, I've just kind of been AFK building up our piety for the longest time, we can go ahead and reform the faith. But before I do that, there's one more thing we need to do. It's going to require us to steal the rest of Italy from the Byzantines. Right, not difficult at all, and obviously the reason we did that is not because I'm that interested in unifying Italy under the Chadwick dynasty. I thought to myself that if we are going to reform our religion, there should be no vile stench left over from the old one. As such, the papacy shall now officially be dismantled. There it is. Gone once and for all. There we go. The papacy is now completely gone. There is no head of faith, and Catholicism is just left in the void. Exactly where that will take us, I'm not too sure, but I don't care, because now it is time to reform our own faith. There we go. We have now reformed the faith, and we have a head of faith, which is me, which also means I can do some crusades. And there you go. I've moved the capital of our court right into Rome, where it belongs. Now, this is probably the most powerful nation I've ever made it in a mega campaign. As of yet, we essentially have, well, all of Italy, which means I won't be doing any more conquest. Not myself, anyway. I mean, you know, like, yeah, there's a void left in the world where Catholicism has failed, and I am willing to, you know, fill it up a little bit. So, let's put a more favourable government in charge of England, shall we? The crusade was successful, and now we've got my uncle in charge of England. I also gave him the holy sites up here in Sweden and Norway too, because I don't want to have to deal with them. Feeling extra weird today. I think it's time to set up a holy crusade to set up a Greek Viking state. Crazy, with just all the buffs I get from all the money from winning battles, I go from like nothing to 1,000 in just a single battle, like late game. Just look at it go up. Just look at it go up. He's gonna give me a Hey, money's not really an issue at any point during this part of the game. You may be wondering why I'm even playing at this point, and it's simple. We're gonna keep going until after the Mongol invasion. When the Mongol invasion is finished, then we will end the game and go into EU4. But I don't plan on doing any expanding anymore. All I've been doing is converting my land at the moment. So, England did a very good job of that, by the way. The Emperor's falling asleep. You know, we created a perfect specimen when we started this game, and we've turned into slug people. Took him long enough, but he's finally arrived. No less during the start of young Chad's reign at 17 years old. Not that I think he'll have any clue what the Mongol Empire is, but yeah, too busy doing 13th century Zoomer things like the plague. I kind of birthed this Viking little state down here a very long time ago, and I just realized how large it's become. It's also in the old religion too, it's not even the new one, so they can still raid and pillage, so yeah. I'll say the Mongol Empire is definitely less traumatic to experience when you're not right on their border with them. Now, I haven't looked over here in a while. I gotta say, the Mongols actually quite scary right now. They're still on Temujin right now. and he has made it all the way through Ukraine already. Also, there are 3 different schemes to murder me right now. I'm just that cool. Just make things a hell of a lot worse in Europe. That's not what I meant to do. That's my brother. My brother was the king of Germany who just turned France. Okay, you know what? I didn't even know. I should not have got involved. Thank whatever Viking god we are currently worshipping that did not last too long. Well, the Khan has died, at least the first one. Now, what exactly the second one's gonna do, because if you don't know, they do keep this trait which allows them to do all this crazy Mongolian stuff for a couple rulers. Well, he died again. Now we've got this guy, and he still has the Great Khan, so we'll see if he explodes. Thank you for your mercy, Odin. There you go. That is the collapse of the Mongols, and exactly where we're gonna leave off. We've played a hell of a long time, probably the longest I've ever played in a mega campaign in CK3 ever, but it was a lot of fun, and I mostly just spent the rest of my time for the past few hours just building up Rome, honestly. It was fun though, watching the world develop, and I did get involved in a few places, and I've paid the price, but this is where Chadwick will leave off. Our great dynasty was left off with Chadasons, and our religion is firmly cemented in a few places. Unfortunately, we did lose it in the British Isles, but it's still a few remnants here and there. What actually will be most interesting to see is the fact the Muslim powers are actually incredibly strong, and will be even stronger in EU4. But yeah, it's definitely a bit of my fault. I may have collapsed Catholicism beyond belief by eating the Pope alive, but I am very interested to see where this goes, and I also am interested to see where I'm going to take the Chadwick Empire. I don't think I'll be doing any colonizing, or maybe a little bit. I haven't really decided. We already have quite a big power base over here in Italy that I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. I don't want to be too overpowered going into Vicky 2, so we'll see. Okay, we'll see. But just for a quick overview of everywhere else in the world right now, the British Isles is, yeah, Ireland has sniped Iceland. Scandinavia, believe it or not, is looking the best it has done for a while. For a long time, Denmark was actually owned by Lithuania, and they've just broken free for the first time in quite a few years. India, yep. Asia, yep. Middle East, actually looking pretty unified, which I think is going to be the scariest part of EU4, honestly. The Byzantines, quite interestingly enough, it still has the Crusader state I popped down in them, but I never realized that someone in my empire stole Byzantium. At least that's what it's called now. It's Byzantium, which is Constantinople, as obviously you all know. I'm not even sure who owns this. It's under a vassal, under a vassal, under a vassal. So yeah, but I don't even know how it happened. But yeah, either way, I think it is time to take this into EU4 and carry on the journey. So if you enjoyed watching this and following along with the Chad Dynasty, the cursed Chad Dynasty, and you want to keep supporting the channel, feel free to leave a like and subscribe button down below. And you have any fan art or any such of the likes that you want to send me, feel free to send it to my Twitter or my Instagram, or post it on the iSorrowproductions Reddit. But yes, until next time, the Chad boys have a bit of a rework to go through. Now, usually I would go around and clean up a few of the map that I know would never get fixed from CK3 into the conversion. But believe it or not, I didn't actually have much I needed to change. I think the only thing I did change was I had 2 landlocked provinces I own over here in North Africa that I just gave to these guys. And that is pretty much it that I've changed. A lot of people always ask, oh, well, why do you do this? Why do you do that? And it's simple. Because as soon as we get into Vic 2, the map won't change. So you really need to set up the stage for people to actually become powers or regional powers really early on, or else you won't get any conflict at all in Vic 2. But as you can see from the map already, well, hopefully the AI cleans up a lot of this. I don't think the AI is going to clean up a lot of this, I'll be real with you. There's a few things I've noticed because of the new CK3 culture system that's kind of weird. Of course, we made our own Chat Italian culture, which is firmly sat now in the middle of Italy. But I also noticed some cursed stuff, like over here in Bohemia, we have Czecho-Anglo-Saxon. I'm not too sure how the English ended up over here, but they're there. And I really have no words for the Turco-Danish, the Khazaro-Norse over here. I do remember a little Viking kingdom popping up over here at some point, but they did not last too long, and they've been wiped out by Armenia, which is Hayastan. Now, obviously, for religion, things got a little bit complicated, as I did behead the Pope in Rome and eat him alive. There are a few things that I do have to point out, though. Obviously, our Viking religion is still pretty much all over Europe. We've got a bit still left over in the UK, and obviously all of Italy and in Greece. And Catholicism is still going, but the Muslim powers, well, the Reconquista didn't get reconquisted. And I'm not too sure when this happened, but the Byzantines also flipped over to Coptic, which means Orthodox is just kind of here. And yes, we do start with King Chadasun. As for the rest of the world, we did end just as the Mongol invasion stopped and exploded into all the different factions, and as you can see, I don't even want to try to comprehend the religious map mode over here. Yes, without further ado, we are going into Chadwick, our empire in Italy. And already, you may think I'm extremely powerful, but believe it or not, because we didn't get much development done, we're not really too strong. In fact, I have noticed that a lot of the high development is down here in Spain. I get the feeling these guys are going to be pretty powerful. Also, I think the most developed province I can actually see is over here in Baghdad. I guess the Mongols didn't manage to reach it this time around. Alright boys, you're a Viking kingdom stuck in the middle of the Mediterranean. What do you do? Number one, do a bit of accounting. Alright, so the economy actually isn't doing too bad. We do have quite the large army starting off with, but I don't really plan on doing any further conquests in Europe just yet. I think we're going to sit back, try to figure out the trade situation, and then maybe get ourselves a colony at some point. But we are going to very carefully pick our rivals here though. I think the Byzantines probably makes a lot of sense. If I was going to expand somewhere, it would be to protect my Viking brothers down here. I feel like I'm a bit optimistic rivaling the Golden Horde, but sure, why not? And I also feel like Al-Andalus might be a bit of a bother for us, considering I think they're probably the strongest power in Europe besides us. A bit of a shame. I can't select a deity. I guess we ate all the pigeons. I just realized as well that I own an island over here. You always figure out some weird stuff about your country when you convert it to EU4. We still have a few of our Viking friends who I've immediately allied. I've allied with Africa, who is Tunisia down here, and the Germans, who were the Holy Crusade state that I popped down that immediately exploded. And yeah, they got a lot of claims, and they just own a lot of random land. I don't see them lasting too long, but sure. As you can see, that's not a very good air. I think we're just gonna have to click that button there. Now your culture is a little messed up when you've kind of blended some weird elements together, when you've got a guy called Hoctor Liexia. That's a 0 in his name. Say that wasn't a great air, but our past air literally was a 000, so of course, following tradition, we're going to call him Cheddar. Nice. We're still doing human sacrifices. I mean, it'd be wrong to change it at this point. It is an integral part of our tradition. Alright, now we do have ourselves a mission tree, which I'm going to start going through. We've got some interesting stuff in here. that is a bit of a mix between the Italian tree, I imagine, and then the Viking tree. Ah yes, the Cultural Revolution, the Renaissance, poems, art, literature. We do still do human sacrifices. I'm not sure if that fits into the Renaissance or not, but we got it. Alright, of course I went with the exploration idea as our first idea. And it didn't really matter because I can't reach anywhere. I'm just a few points away. And that is with the colonial range guide too. So it might be a little while before we get colonizing. But our brave Viking sailors are off out discovering new places for us to pillage. Also, yeah, I just noticed that Ghana is huge. Yeah, also, woo, why not? Bit of religious sacrifice. Okay, Germany just sent me a little insult there. Is that sorry thing on your head what passes for a crown? Look at your country right now. Finally got in the Diplotech to be able to colonize, and we've got our very first colony. I broke my alliance with the Germans after their devastating insult, and they aren't looking too good after that one. I have received a few claims from my mission tree already, and I would actually like to push down here into the Balkans, but unfortunately Bavaria is allied with Al-Andalusia, which has a magnificent amount of troops. Now, I would love to be able to deal with this, but I cannot deal with this at all. So I'm just patiently waiting. Maybe that alliance will break at some point. I was kind of tempted because they are currently killing Africa down here, but I get the feeling they're gonna piece this out immediately as soon as I declare war on Bavaria. God, okay, so I could call in my two allies who would actually join. Africa doesn't look like they want to join. I can't put my finger on why. But you know what? I think I might just try it. How bad can it go, right? Right? One thing I hate about EU4 the most, it is the warfare. So this will be fun. Just realized they pieced out down here, and the Andalusian armies are all going the wrong way. That's not how you get home, boys. I think this has actually gone pretty well. The AI just kept naval invading me, so I just kept blowing up their armies. And we can get ourselves the peace I want, which are these two provinces right here, and then breaking their alliance with Andalusia, which that's not cool, bro. Well, well, well. Look who came crawling back. Okay, Germany, do you even exist on the map? And yeah, no, we can't be friends, I'm afraid, Germany. Oh my god, we have discovered new land. I wonder what we will name it. Chamerica! Unsurprisingly, in the land of Chadwick, we're not very inventive. We were literally born of generations of men that could not read. And we've gotten birth of colonialism, which makes sense as we are out here in the new world. Grinding. Grinding, I mean oppressing. You know, I was kind of sure the Golden Horde might fall apart, but I think they've just gotten larger. I mean, their tech is on par with everyone over here in the West too, so maybe we're gonna see a pretty powerful Golden Horde. The real question is, has the religious map mode over here gone a little more simple? Nope. I want to keep going down the coast over here and the Byzantine Empire, and I think it should be fine, but they are allied to Polabia, which great name. Also absolutely huge. But my great allies of Africa and Thessalonica will join me, so I guess we're pillaging, boys. If you thought the British Isles couldn't get any more complicated. So we did manage to get a couple provinces in that Byzantine war, by the way. It didn't go too well though. I only got a couple. And then yeah, like Abyssinia, the Byzantines, and Polabia all turned up at once, and I very quickly pieced out. I was like, you know what, North America, that seems fun. North America is not fun at all. There's a lot of tribes with a lot of troops and a lot of land. I don't know what's going on in Europe. It's just France and Polabia eating everything in sight. We're giving it a shot. I should have way better tech than them. So let's see. Watch out, guys. If I take this much land, the Powhatan would be very upset with me. War on one native over here, and then I kind of have to, like, dodge the minefields of the random natives I'm then at war with because they're allied to them. I think we're a few centuries late, but the Mongols, I guess we're gonna have to call them now, are pillaging the Byzantines, which sounds like an opportune time for me to get involved. For the past few hours, I've not been doing a lot. I've mostly been sitting here and making our trade absolutely flourish. But the problem is, a lot of our trade is getting stuck over here. And it's getting a bit of a struggle to get a lot of it out. So obviously, the only thing we can do is introduce ourselves to that trade node forcefully. Yeah, now problem is that these guys are absolutely huge, Andalusia is a powerhouse. I do get a whole bunch of claims on North Africa through my mission tree, which yeah, Africa's, yeah. Shout out to the French AI that just made my life a hell of a lot easier. You think you've seen it all, but then you see Irish Mexico. I was staring at North America for a while. I've just come back, and Palapia's not looking too cool right now. Also, Ireland pretty much has all of the UK. Just not all of the UK. I also gotta say, this is fairly impressive. Are you still alive? Why has nobody killed you yet? You know what, sure, just because, like, I respect the hustle here, Germany, you're back in the team. I have been waiting for an opportune time to slap the Byzantines around, and I think this may just be it. I've just been a little preemptive about doing it, because now that I have land over here, I'm just a bit assuming that if I do declare war, that someone might also declare war on me for their land back. But thankfully, I do have allies now. I've got Ireland, Hungary, and the Golden Horde, which is just disgustingly large. Jeez, in we go. I even called Hungary and the Golden Horde in, and I promised them land, so hopefully I remember to give them it. I think that'll do nicely. We'll fix the rest of this later. I meant to give that to Hungary. Why did it even let me take that? Thankfully they wanted to buy that from me, otherwise things would be a bit of an eyesore over here. Not that they're not already an eyesore everywhere. I guess the Golden Horde decided they didn't have enough land just yet, and now they're taking Swedish Russia! Palavi used to be huge, but just over the course of like 100 years, they have become not very huge. Sure, I said in CK3 that I probably wouldn't ever have to worry about the Mongols being my problem. Now I'm too scared to say no to any of their call to arms. Oh, France is currently at war with Andalusia, and I notice they've also got some rebels over here, which might be really good for Ireland if they can kick the French out of Britain. Please, everyone else is beating up France right now. I'm coming in. War's going well. Really well. Thankfully, my ally, the Golden Horde, is pretty much coming in clutch and destroying all of the French army. So I've had a bit of a free reign over here. Just realized from that Irish army right there that the Irish actually went to war with France, and you have a Irish British Isles. Although I guess we're just gonna call them the Irish Isles. Here you go, there is the peace conference. I took the two provinces I had claims on through my mission tree over here, which means I can finally click that. And then I gave a whole bunch of cores back to Lothringia over here, just to cut off the French snake over here in North Germany. Oh, I guess now we're going straight to war with Byzantium. Africa just gave me a gift of 69 ducats. You trying to get me to remember the fact you exist somehow still? Well, France is kind of in shot. The Byzantines are getting repeatedly shot, and Denmark is now Hanover. Except they're still hanging out in Greenland. The year is now 1727, and the world has pretty much taken the shape I imagine it's going to be taking into Vic 2 at this point. Pretty interestingly enough, though, Asia has pretty much been completely untouched by Australia and New Zealand by the Andalusians, and the New World is split up between me, the Irish, and then also Andalusia. Europe is still pretty much undergoing maintenance now that I look at it, actually. The Byzantines are pretty much gone, though, and whatever's happening in Central Europe and Germany in general is still up for debate. But there is one thing I would like to do as my kind of final act of expansion, and that is to bring Africa back. Which means I'm gonna have to go to war with Andalusia, and that is a lot of troops. That is disgusting amount of units in a battle. The battles get a little bit crazy late game in U4, don't they? Casualties from this war, I imagine, are going to be pretty insane. Time to see the damage. Oh yeah, just couple million dead people in 1738. Was it worth it? I'm not entirely sure it was. Just noticed as well that Abyssinia isn't in Abyssinia. Obviously, we're in the Age of Revolutions, and of course, the Age of Revolution has spawned a revolution in the island nation. I guess I'm gonna have to go stomp it out. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a complicated one, I think. I'm just gonna go back in time and forget I ever even declared war on them. The great 2 million dead people over Tunisia war. I'm not up for it. Yep, it's spreading further. Revolutionary Scandinavia. Can we get ourselves a revolutionary golden horde, perhaps? The Industrial Revolution Institution is here, and it has spawned in Albazin, the most industrious place in the world. Okay, buddy, okay. You know, the flag of revolutionary Serbia looks a little familiar. I think at this rate, I might be the only absolute monarch left in Europe. I was wondering when the colonies might come into question. It looks like Andalusia is currently supporting independence of all of my colonies. In all fairness, they are very large and all hate me. World War II time, I think. Just think it's only fair if they attempt to overthrow my colonies, I get a shot at overthrowing their country for the second time. There you go, just another million men dead between us. There you go, just carved out a little bit more land there. I don't actually plan on holding this land. I'm just gonna set up a puppet state over here. So it gave Germany a bunch of like the Andalusian land over here in southern France. It's been a while since they owned the land down here, but I guess they're back. But they for damn sure ain't anywhere near Germany. You know, I think it's time we get rid of New Chadwick. We're going to do it before they just bring everyone into war for their independence. Yeah, it's just a friendly, you know, going our different ways type deal. No animosity. We could still be friends. I've just had enough of you. You're a pain in the ass. Well, I guess it's Florida. Okay, they very quickly changed their mind about that one. We are going to keep Vinland and Louisiana for now. They're much easier to keep a hold of, especially now that we've gotten rid of the main instigator of the problems. Now, Palavia really needs to make up their mind if they are coming or they are going, because this is like the 5th time they've been reborn into the world. Glad to see that the American War of Independence is actually being fought against the Irish right now. In E4, it's like, what the hell do I even spend this money on? I've ran out of building slots like 100 years ago. I guess it's because I haven't really taken a lot of land in comparison to what I could have taken. So, yeah, I've just kind of been stockpiling the gold. No idea why I've done this, but I have declared war to contain the revolution that has spawned from Ireland once more. It is time to quell the silly ideas that people deserve the right to vote and that women exist. Hey, the invasion is going well, as long as you don't factor into the fact my navy has been annihilated. Yeah, quite literally, there is no coming back from this invasion, boys. You either win it or you're dying here. That was actually not that bad. The Irish army absolutely sucked. Now how exactly do I get you guys home? We have 28 transport ships left. It's gonna take a while. I also took their colony Louisiana off them, so it's gone into my colony now. I don't know if I'll be keeping this or not. I'm not too sure. I just beat the Irish up so hard they turned British! It is now 1806, and with the destruction of the revolution in Ireland, which is now Irish Britain, which is Great Britain, which is Great Britain but Irish. I think we have secured the Empire of Chadwick to survive another day. I'm not too sure there's going to be anything I'm really going to clean up for when I move this into Vicky 2. I think for the most part, everything is actually kind of okay where it is. I will look at some stuff like this random disjointed province from Hungary, and maybe do a few other little things here and there, but the only real reason we ever do a bit of map clearing when it comes to Vic 2 is because in Vic 2 there isn't a lot of conquest, so you won't really see a lot of these small states ever equate to anything at all. But for all the large states in Europe right now, I won't be touching any of them. I won't even touch this weird bit of France that's inside of Lotharingia. I think what's going to be pretty interesting going into Vic 2 is the fact that Asia was just untouched for the entire game. No European powers really went over here at all. I did get myself a little charter company over here, but that is about it. And once again, Ghana is just... Ghana is huge, so I'm not too sure how that's going to translate to Vic 2 exactly, but we'll see, I suppose. The same thing will go with the colonies. A lot of the colonies, I'm going to try to make them break free from their overlords, but we'll try and do that naturally. I don't think I'll just decolonize them immediately. But with no further ado, this is the end of EU4. We are... number 5th great power. We're not exactly the best. We're not exactly the worst. A lot of it does just come down to development. I did not take a lot of land this game. If you look at my starting portals and where I left off, we haven't grown a lot. And I did also give up my my United States colony too. I was mostly just focusing on pushing trade and making money. And boy, did we make quite a bit of money. We definitely could have made a lot more, but alas, I did spend the majority of my points for the last few years just because tech didn't really matter, on simply culture converting everything to chat Italian, and as you can see, it's gotten quite far. Oh, I'm gonna need everyone to pour one out though for the Turco-Danes. They did not survive to the end of the game. It's definitely gonna be an interesting Vic 2 game, especially just because of powers like the Golden Horde, which is just goddamn insanely huge. But the powers we really have right now on the great power list is Spain, obviously, Golden Horde, Scandinavia, which is pretty much Germany, I suppose, for the most part, and then we obviously have Lotharingia as well, which I guess could also be Germany. None of them are actually German culture though, although I guess they kind of are. It's really hard to tell, because like literally right in the middle here we have the Franconio-Cornish. How did the Franconio-Cornish get here? Yeah, the culture map mode is just absolutely everywhere. I'm not too sure how this is going to go into Vicky 2, but I cannot wait to see how it does go into Vicky 2. So here is the final map. Have a good look. Have a good intake on what might happen in Vic 2. Leave your predictions down below. Here's the religion map. Yeah, wow, that's a lot of Vikings in North America. A lot of Muslims in South America. It's also kind of funny, I completely forgot about Protestantism, but the only place that really took off was in Poland, and Poland has just kind of been trapped by Scandinavia. This has definitely been a wild ride, and the Chadwick Empire has decided that it's time to move forward. We didn't end up being the #1 power here, but we will in Vicky 2. I have no doubt about it, please. But yes, if you enjoyed this EU4 part to the mega campaign and you want to continue the journey on into Vicky 2, make sure you hit the sub button. Hit the like right next to it too. Wow, that helps the video do stuff, I imagine. But yes, anyway, on to Vicky 2. That's right, I pretty much didn't change anything. Oh boy, it looks so good. My favorite part is the fact that Hungary is here, but also right here. And good news, all of my Lithuanian fans, you're technically still alive. Very barely. So yeah, this is something very experimental for a mega campaign where I haven't really gone around and fixed up the map. Everything is exactly how you should have just, well, witnessed if you've just come from the other video. And the jewel of this horrendous world is the Empire of Chadwick, located in the Mediterranean and a bit outside of the Mediterranean. So, a cool thing about the converter now is you can actually merge it with your own version of HPM, which gives us way more options that are going to make this way more enjoyable than playing vanilla Vicky 2. It also means I actually merged it with my own version of HPM that I use for the Boca and multiplayer games that we used to play. So yeah, I got a few more quality of life things that has been added, really. But who cares about that? Let's get into the madness. Oh, like the fact throughout entirety of our history existing in this one save, Elba was never colonized, apparently. Okay, I really hope I manage to colonize this before the AI gets to it. Right, now because we actually have the option to start where we left off in EU4, we are in 1806, which is 30 years before the normal start date in Vicky 2. I thought I might as well give it a few extra a bit of leeway here, just to see what happens with an extra 30 years in Vicky 2, and because there's a lot of colonizing still to do. Of course, we still have the New World under our belt, under our, I guess, semi-dominions of Canada and Louisiana. Whether or not we're actually going to go ahead and keep a hold of these, I'm not 100% sure, but as for the rest of the European colonies over here, again, not too sure if people will be able to keep a hold of these, but we'll find out, you know? It's all part of the mega pain fun. Alright, but first things first, I need to just fix everything, bring the armies home, find out where all the fleets are at, and just, oh, well, yeah, well, the fleets will be over here because that's where we left them invading the UK. I've just got an army on the Channel Islands. I'm just gonna bring you guys home. Alright, so we've got no tech to do for a while, 1815, before we can even research anything, because obviously we are before the start date in Vicky 2, so for now, we're gonna focus on fixing up the realm, getting industrialization going, and rebuilding the army because I deleted it all at the end of EU4. I think our first priority as the Chat-Italian people may actually to be making the Chat-Italians able to read. Yeah, we literally got a 3% literacy rate. That's not great. Okay, my allies, the Germans, who you may notice and remember are in southern France, are going to war with the French immediately. I mean, sure, why not? Oh, actually, I say sure, why not? I don't actually have an army right now. You'll have to give me a minute, Germany. Oh, wait, I totally read that wrong. The French are actually going in on the Germans to take their land back. Okay, I'm gonna help the Germans here. I don't know what it is, but I just have this overwhelming urge to keep this German abomination alive down here. Now, of course, industrialization isn't actually a thing yet. So we're going to be very limited on the stuff we can build for a while. So yeah, I'm not even... is anyone producing guns? Okay, so people in the world are actually producing guns, and I guarantee Scandinavia is about to become a very rich nation from it. As you can see, the French apparently had Hungarian friends. Now, I'm assuming, down to the fact there are literally no rifles in the world to really fund these armies, the demand is triple that of the supply. All of these armies can't be funded. So the stacks are just dying immediately. Was essentially bankrupting the country at the very start of the game and arming all of the peasants in the country with sticks to fight a very dumb war worth it just to take Hungarian Bosnia. I'm going to preemptively say, probably not. Yeah, by the way, if you were wondering exactly who the great powers are in the world right now, it goes Scandinavia, Lithuania. Well, Scandinavia has 7,628 prestige. I don't think that's right. Oh, yeah, I think they've probably got like an event or a decision that they can click repeatedly, and the AI is really going to town with clicking it. I should probably go fix that. Okay, so they can click the create the Baltic states button, and yeah, that they just click that endlessly, and the AI is going to town doing that. There you go. I have fixed the problem. The Baltic states have been released under Scandinavia as a little puppet, and hopefully they won't just spawn in infinite prestige. But anyway, the great powers list now accustomed and fixed. The Scandinavia is still #1. Then we've got Lithuania. Then we've got me, the British Empire, which again isn't very British. It was formed by Ireland, but I'm not renaming them. Then we got France, Poland, the American Empire, which is actually still our friend, kind of like cordial relationship, you know, we're still hanging out. Please don't grow powerful and take me out. And then we got Hungary. Now there is a whole bunch of post-colonialism events and claims. So the US will want to expand west, much like real life. And all of our colonies will also get events to like break free. I don't even know when it happened, but it looks like Canada has already actually gone. I don't know if I had a choice in that or not. I probably might have missed that with the whole war with France. Yeah, but either way, I'm not really too interested in holding on to the New World anyway. I want to carve out a brand new empire today in the East. You know, maybe expand a bit more in Europe and tidy things up a bit. God, I don't even know how that happened, but the Ottoman Empire is here. Free. Thriving. I don't think that's probably gonna equate to much. They don't get cores or anything. I'm assuming they just came because, yeah, the Turks never really went west in our universe, did they? In fact, I'm pretty sure realistically, this is probably, yeah, this is all still Greek. It's just been conquered by a lot of non-Greek people. Think about this, because I thought it might break the game immediately, but I gave myself the invention for machine parts, just because if there are no machine parts in the world, you can't build factories, and if you don't have machine parts to start off, how will you ever build a factory? But apparently Scandinavia actually does start with a machine parts factory because they aren't making them. So giving myself the invention for machine parts and the 1,000 goods to build the machine parts factory was all a bit pointless. But either way, there you go. Now you know. The only other thing that's kind of like that is Clipper convoys, but we do get the tech for Clipper convoys and Clipper design, so I'm just going to wait until 1815 with that one and not bother cheating in the tech for it. We're just going to wait. I did get the 1,000 goods, so I did build a few Clippers already, but as you can see, we've immediately ran out of Clippers, and they're now dying. Yeah, so my yearning for imperialism will have to wait until we invent the sailboat. There's obviously a few other things we can't build as well. Most importantly, we can't build ports right now. We also can't build any artillery. I think there is an artillery factory in the world, though. I just don't know. Oh, it's Poland. Poland's funding global warfare and also making a lot of money in doing so. The price of artillery right now is a bit insane, and the demand is even more insane. Interestingly enough, South Africa has broken free from Andalusia and is fighting their war of independence. So I'm going to fund them pennies. So half Japan has been occupied by Korea for the longest time, and it looks like they've finally decided to give it a go and kick them out. And I won't lie, it does look like the numbers may be on the Japanese side, as they have allied with the Chinese. Have you ever heard of the South African War for Independence? No? Normal! Now, Ghana, which has actually been very large for a very long time, even from CK3, is actually currently falling to reactionaries. Not too sure how that's going to go for them, but I will find out very quickly, I imagine. Oh, well, poor Ghana, I suppose. Realized as well, because we've now converted it into Vicky 2, our religion is now officially animist. I guess it's a bit weird being animist still, and also going through essentially the most enlightening period of history, you know, but why not go through the Industrial Revolution and at the same time also sacrifice children to appease the gods? In a way, that's exactly what the Victorians were doing anyway, except the children were being sacrificed to a different god. The god of green money, capitalism. That's right, little Timmy. Get up the chimney and sweep! Officially 1815, so we can get started on doing a whole bunch of tech that is going to make our lives so much easier. We're going through our technology now, and our inventions are piling up, and the world economy may actually become a thing that exists, hopefully, from all this. I guess the really cursed thing is someone did the decision to actually build the sewers in EU4, so we don't have to worry about going all the way around Africa to get out east. Just in case you were wondering who was in charge of Australia, they put the name in twice. So my plan for the most part is focusing on the Indies. There's a lot of good resources over here that I want to take, and it's also an area just in general that's been free of European colonialism, so it is ripe for the picking, along with India. But I'm not too sure if I'm really gonna make the move over here or not. I'm just looking at Bengal right now. They got 147 brigades. I I'm not ready for that. Was minding my business, doing a wee bit of colonialism in the Indies, and it looks like I have been vibe checked by the French who've declared war on me for Provence. I don't really have any allies, so I might actually lose this, I think. Oh, wait, no, I have the Gone Horde. Hopefully they hold them off. Hold them off! Made an ultimate death stack, and I'm just going to try kill these tiny French armies before they manage to link up and see. We managed to wipe piece of the French out. I would have loved to take something, but as you can see, they were pushing in, but I just won on battles alone, which, yeah, we're just going to take that for now, but I will remember this, France. I declared war on Thailand, technically, for Sumatra, and they sent their big brother, the Maratha Empire, over to come beat me up. That took a lot of infamy and a lot of sitting around waiting for them to actually accept the deal, but there you go. We are eating up all of this Asian land and also rapidly running out of money, I see. Well, the French are back, and this time the second French liberation of Provence has brought the Germans along. I was your best friend! Your mere existence on this plane of reality is because of us! I do have the Polish on my side. I'm not too oh, they are. They have a border with the Hungarians. Okay, hopefully they keep them busy, and I'm just gonna do the same thing I did last time. But this time, I'm getting reparations from them. We have pushed the French back to where they belong. Hell. And I really have no idea what I want to do in this peace conference. Anything I really take from them is just gonna require more effort to hold as the 12th Battle of Provence happens. So I guess the only sensible thing we can do is go ahead and puppet Germany, which of course the French would gladly accept, as just like throughout this entire mega campaign so far, Germany is very easy to throw under the bus. God, just look at the shambles that is my army, because I have to mobilize every time to fight them off. God. They're growing. Asking yourself, why am I at war with France for the 4th billionth time? And it's simple. Polish liberation of Scandinavian Anhalt. The Polish aren't even in the war, funnily enough. King of Lotharingia rules over all the lands in the world with the same ethnicity, or so it seems. Perhaps in 10 years, Saigon will be the capital of... What the hell did they just... That is what they just did. Belgium has been birthed into the world. I don't even know how to process the fact that we are going to have to deal with a great power Belgium. Yeah, the French have demanded Savoy from me. I don't think they quite learned their lesson, the 12 other wars we've had so far. Am I being slightly petty by declaring war on Andalusia to make their puppets break free? Maybe. And is the reason I'm being slightly petty because my colonies all broke free, and my colonies are now killing each other too. But yeah, none of their colonies are breaking free, so I guess I'm gonna have to tip the scale a bit. I think I may have beat up Andalusia so hard, we're watching the collapse of Andalusia. I was gonna say, why on earth have they been released primitive, but considering they haven't really existed since the 1200, it probably makes sense. I see the third liberation of the Belgian Rhineland is going pretty well for the French. The Indian War of Independence. Oh, India is trying to break free from Bangladesh. Please don't be angry at me in the comments. It's kind of funny there, India, because you appear to have taken Bangladesh with you, realistically. I think India might just have this in the bag, too. They've got all the darn troops, and Bangladesh ain't looking too good. Do they get... India gets all claims on India, too. 1881, and the scramble for Africa has begun. I'm celebrating... by having a quick visit to Ghana. May have messed the borders up a little bit, but I'll come back and fix that later. I clicked an event and did that to Egypt. Oh no! That was not intentional. India actually did manage to win their War of Independence and immediately falling to Indian reactionaries. So, Hunan! And we! I can straight up inherit South Africa. Yes. Why not? I really hope I don't get the event where they try to break free from me now. But we'll see. They already did it once, I guess. I feel like I may have called this one. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let them become a puppet under us, and that is as good as we're getting. Looking at like the balance of power in Europe right now in the Great Palace, I have no idea how we're gonna manage to get a great war from this damn mess. I'm not entirely sure how this would even work. I mean, Belgium, they're just kind of sitting there. They don't have like any claims to expand into or any land to like take over with. The UK is just kind of well, splendid isolationing. I'm not too sure what else they're doing. They have held on to their colonies in North America. India and that hasn't really changed that much. It's going to be interesting to see if India can get out of uncivilized and actually do something here. Bangladesh might just come in because they are a great power and just kill them. But I'm not too sure what could really get a spark going here. Allied with the Americans immediately after that, and they've gone to war with Great Britain to take land off them. Oh no. Oh, I was not expecting that, but I guess ask and thou shall receive. Let's get some ironclads going, even though they are about to be out of date in 2 seconds. Our front is the French front, where we have been fighting for what feels like 4 games now. That's right, I said 4 because I'm preemptively asserting that we are going to be fighting them again in the UE4. It looks like the Brits immediately want to peace out for Colorado, but I'm not going to let them. I want to see if the Americans will add more stuff onto this war. Oh, the British are actually, they landed and they're beating up my puppet. That's not very nice. I mean, you probably can't tell, but like that little green face on the British soldier, that's actually Bove's face that I put on the British unit. It's not exactly what I wanted them to do, but I guess, yep, Yucatan's free. I was kind of hoping they'd take more land, but they just, they were not doing it at all. But, hey, the British now have lost Mexico. That I think it really matters for the British. They're probably, one of the most powerful aside the Belgians and the Scandinavians militarily, but, they're definitely still up there, and will probably be a bit of a pain in Hoi 4, I imagine. Second, is that... Wait, can we give Germany land back in the crisis? Hold on. Did that work? Hello? That didn't work, but they accepted. I just... What? Alright, but either way, now that I remember crises exist, look at all of the potential for things to explode all of a sudden. Alright, I think this map is about to get real messy in the next 20-30 years. I'm not entirely sure how that just happened, but Scandinavia just killed Canada. So, like, just killed them completely. I'm not gonna question it, alright? I guess, in a way, Canada was also a proud Viking Scandinavian nation. I think their culture as well is Nordic American. So I guess it adds up in a very weird way. And yeah, okay, they're gonna have to fight to keep Canada, I imagine. That is our scramble for Africa over with. It's okay. Would have been a little bit better if the Sudan crisis didn't go down. The Great Sudan Incident. Realize because Grenada is, well, they're primitive, I can just protectorate them, and boom. No more Grenada. I guess it's 5 infamy for the established protectorate casus belli. I might as well just do it on all of these guys, really. Are we about to have a world war over Pyongyang? Sadly, it was a white peace. No World War Pyongyang. At least not yet. Maybe by the time this video comes out. The sad thing is, I just lost my last colony, the Caribbean, because they became a great power. That's how messed up this world is. Of the revolt of South Sudan. Yes, yes, you can go free. No! I've just made it even worse. It put me to war with them anyway. The problem I'm facing with all of these crises is that I can't actually get one going to a great war, because as soon as I join a side, they just peace out. So look, Poland's on that side with the UK, and I think Belgium is also more in the side of the UK too, so we can assume they're going to go over there. So I'm going to click Scandinavia, and I guarantee they're about to peace out immediately. heard of the fifth liberation of the Belgian Rhineland? If I can't get a Great War, and there's no way I can start a Great War, I'm just gonna go beat up Belgium, because I don't like it there. Sometimes you've just gotta be the bad guy, and considering I beheaded the Pope a few hundred years ago, I think I may fit the bill just right. If France can't liberate the Rhineland, I'm going to liberate the Rhineland. I'll call in all my friends. It's kind of like... Wait, I just noticed the Germans said no. Yeah, I think they broke free at some point. That's my bad. But once again, I've been stabbed in the back by the German. Maybe asking yourself, was that worth it? Nope. I did get events to ally the UK and Poland though, so that's even less allies. That's even more allies for me and less potential for world wars. But at this point, I don't think there's gonna be a world war, like at all. There's just Colombia's a great power. Yeah, kind of the longer I just kind of wait around, the more and more powerful I'm just gonna get, while the AI doesn't really get any more powerful. Yeah, the AI is not the best when it comes to Vic 2 and the whole Vic 2 part of the mega campaign. And my country's just been way too stable. The Empire of Chadwick has well and truly prospered, as you could probably tell from my industrial score right now. I've been on laissez-faire the whole time. I set up my original industry at the start, but then I've just let the capitalists take over and the free market has reigned supreme. Yeah, but I think the Empire of Chadwick might have to leave it off here, and we need to go for a proper world war in the World War game. I guess technically we had a big war, which was with France and the UK, but that went pretty swimmingly. And then we helped France take this blob of Belgium. Now I definitely will have to fix some of the borders going into Hoi 4, because this is going to be an absolute mess and a half to convert. I won't do like the main things, like everything should still look the same, but like this part of Scandinavia and Poland, I'm gonna be real with you, won't make the final cut. In terms of what the factions will be like, because no one's actually flipped to any kind of radical parties or anything. We haven't had a communist, a socialist. We've had nothing at all. Everyone's just been way too stable. So I'm not actually too sure how that's going to end up looking. The Kingdom of America, probably the big country that's expanded, and Scandinavia too. Scandinavia has gotten a lot of land throughout this playthrough. They've lost a lot of land in Germany, but they did make up for it in Canada and in Africa down here. I, of course, have taken a whole chunk of Africa. I've got South Africa as a puppet, and we've taken pretty much over all of Iberia at this point, but I think I'll give all of this land to my puppet when we get into Hoi 4, which I still have. They're still doing well. Viking power. Yeah, I say they're doing well. We are quite literally still an animist state that is sacrificing people every year. Down here, we have Andalusian Australia, which isn't actually under Andalusian. They're free now, but they just kept the name because they liked it. Although they did get rid of the other Andalusian. It used to be Andalusian Australia. Now we're stuck with Andalusian Australia. Well, the British got British Australia over here. Not as impressive as Andalusian Australia. And yeah, I didn't even realize I owned this. I don't know when I got that, honestly, but I own Western Papo over there. It looks like Tane actually got a whole bunch of land themselves and became civilized, which is quite impressive, so I'll keep those guys around. And I obviously did a whole bunch of colonizing over here. Didn't get anything too crazy more. I was going to go for Vietnam, but they also civilized, which is pretty interesting. China, been a bit of a battle royale. I haven't showed it off too much because no one's really claimed any power over here. There's been a lot of factions jumping in and out of them, but this is how it stands at the moment. Obviously, India, the major power would be the Maratha Empire and Bangladesh. Actual India is still uncivilized, and they never really got too far to the civilization process. But the Maratha Empire, pretty powerful, and Bangladesh, like I said. Then, of course, we've got the Golden Horde, which really didn't do anything anything, but I didn't expect them to do anything this game anyway. I think they're really going to shine off in Hoi 4, though. I say shine off, we'll see. I'm not too sure how golden the Golden Horde will be, but I like to think they might be able to pull something out. And then, of course, back to Europe, where things have, they've definitely cleaned up a little bit. The Andalusians are kind of exiled into Portugal and then North Africa. Not that great. South America, all the puppets have been like freed. They're all independent now. It's a bit complicated because we're all the exact same map color. And then we've got Colombia freed, and then the Yucatan, who essentially Mexico, has been freed too. The British still own Deseret, which is just California, and they've got the Oregon Company over here too. And then poor Louisiana has been pushed pretty far west. Yeah, so I don't think it'd be any fun to keep going in Vic 2. This definitely needs a Hoi 4 game to get sorted out and get a real rumble going, that's for sure. Because there is just a lot of chaos I can see being unfolded here. And the Empire of Chadwick has liberalized pretty far. We've given the people what they want, the right to vote. Benefits for their hard work, social security to fall back on for when the gods don't go our way because we haven't sacrificed enough children. But yes, the Empire of Chadwick survived pretty easy, I won't lie, but we're gonna see what happens when we go into Hoi 4. I might just have to switch it up a bit. Maybe we got a bit too liberal, you know? Maybe gotta bring it back to the old days where we beheaded the Pope. That sounds pretty fun. Yes, if you enjoyed this video and you want to leave a like, hit the subscribe button down below. Feel free to do so and carry on the mega campaign to the last moment, which will be Hoi 4. But until then, I gotta clean this damn map up. Hit the like button. Subscribe! So, after a few minutes of painstakingly fixing a few of the issues on the map, we are here! Now, the only things that really affect us in terms of our empire, the Empire of Chadwick, the Viking nation that has taken over the good piece of the Mediterranean, is that I actually gave the most of the Spanish land that I took at the end of the game just to my puppet, just because, why not, really? If I really want to, I can annex them back later. I just didn't really want it directly, personally, because I'm gonna have a lot of fronts with people already. And the great leader of our Empire of Chadwick, as we did go ahead and turn pretty liberal towards the end of our Vic 2 game, is our democratically elected leader of Dagar. It's kind of, interesting that our mix of Italian and Norse cultures resulted in this man. And for the rest of the world in this mega campaign, it probably looks exactly like you remember, really. Just a few little bits and bobs were cleaned up here and there, and yeah, I am ready to play some Hoi 4 and watch as this entire world goes to hell. The converter does go ahead and give me puppets in terms of my colonies, so we have the Italian East Indies, and we have Italian Sudan, and then Southern Africa down here, and of course we already have South Africa as a puppet as well. And as you can probably see, I did fix our little Sudan situation. And you may ask, why did it turn Scandinavian Canada into secret Denmark? I have no idea, and I am too scared to find out. Alright, here we are. We have a absolutely huge industry compared to a lot of the other countries around us, because the AI obviously can't quite handle the ideals of actually making industry in Vicky 2. Now, because we did make some allies at the end of the game, we are apparently in the League of Nations with well, quite a few people. I think we're the only actual faction on the map, but much like the League of Nations in real life, don't expect this one to stick around. I have to take a break there and go download the cheat mod so I can add some resources to the map, because for some reason, there was no resources on the map at all. Yeah, so I just spawned some in for everyone. It's the best we can do. I don't know how to fix it, but yeah, now everyone just has a overabundance of resources. But you know what? I don't care. I want some more. Right, so the converter does give a whole lot of nations a whole lot of focuses to start conflict. So we shouldn't have to worry about the world going to crap without us, really. It's definitely going to go to crap. We do start with a war going on already. We have the Scandinavian Garden War, which is very one-sided by the looks of things here. Personally, I think that our new ways of liberalism and blah 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 have left us quite weak. Can we not go back to the good old times when we were human sacrificing? I think it might be time for a bit of a reshuffle in the Empire of Chadwick. If you're wondering where Churchill ended up in this universe, I've got the answer for you. He's in Papua New Guinea! I just realized, technically, I guess we never really innovated on our warfare, as there wasn't really any, so no one ever discovered what a tank was. 1938, everything is looking quite peaceful in the world, but I think our era of peace might just come to an end at my own hand. Everyone in the world's just kind of getting on a bit too well, you know, probably from the overabundance of resources everyone found. The winds of peace have, thankfully, blown off, and we have decided it's time to return to tradition. Didn't like that. They did not like that at all, but I guess I will be keeping custody of the League of Nations. And we got our brand new leader, and as you can see, he has quite the hairdo. And by hairdo, I mean he doesn't actually have any hair. But of course, that is from the Italian side of our genetic history. Definitely not the Norse. Mussolini lives on. The first act upon the world is to finally get rid of Switzerland. I just realized as well, I guess if any country was to get radicalized from their tumultuous history in this mega campaign, it probably would have been France. I see they have definitely gone the other side of the political spectrum than me, though. Gotta keep an eye on that one. But anyway, time to get rid of the Swiss once and for all. Here we go. Look, the borders are suddenly so much better. The Golden Horde also had a bit of a political switch there, and I've got to say their leader is a lot better than my leader. First of the AI to go to war, we've got the Republic of China now going to war with Hunan, probably to actually unify China. It was unified for a long time, but then it started exploding in Vicky 2. Although, I want to go ahead and get control over Egypt, mostly for revenge after the Sudan incident. Bad news for all my Hunan enjoyers. You have been Oh. Nanking Republic. Oh. Nanking Republic, eh? Let's see how we do against Egypt. I think China is just going a little bit ham here. Also, Japan declared war on Ryukyu too. And, oh, okay, yeah, I'm noticing a trend over here in Asia. Yeah, our empire just keeps growing larger. I won't lie, Germany. That probably isn't going to work out too well for you. I don't think you're going to be able to get there. Oh, wait a second. I guess I could help. Why do I keep falling for this? Why do I keep helping you? Me and the Germans, we have a very complicated and long history of constant backstabbing. Only on one side, funnily enough. Barely got that landing. That was very hit or miss. Few of my units because they were just so low orged when they got into the province, but there you go. The Germans are now officially in Germany. It's quite literally been hundreds of years since they were last here, but they have returned to the homeland. Not sure why, but the most common thing I'm noticing in everyone's focus tree is that everyone just has one to go to war with Japan. And as such, everyone is at war with Japan. I'm not too sure, but yeah, okay. Japan is the big bad guy apparently. And the Lucia just actually reconquered Lyon there too. What the hell? Hello. Sorry, did you say declare war on Japan? Okay. Well, you know, the focuses in the converter aren't exactly amazing. But I guess everyone just hates Japan. There are plenty of nations that also get other war goals. France looks like they will be going toward Belgium at some point. The Golden Horde actually has just a whole load of declare wars they can do. Recruited a general, and I think I might have found what happened to the Pope. Okay. I think you are pushing your luck a little bit there. Are they all with France too? I'm not helping this. Germany, like, you just asked too much, too often. If you're wondering why I have the state transfer tool still on, it's just for times like this where the AI just doesn't know what's good for it. The Germans have now been kicked out of France and returned back to Germany, and there is a faction that has been formed, the European Pact. The slight feeling they might want to have a word with Belgium at some point, because the French most definitely want their land back with the 12 billionth war for French Rhineland. Okay, just to, so this game actually goes somewhere, I just went ahead and used the console to piece Japan out with all the random people they were at war with across the globe. Now, if Japan actually declares war on any people, because they have so many people to declare war on, I won't piece them out, and will actually, hopefully something happen. But when I saw Persia and Poland declare war on Japan, I think that might be a little silly. You can definitely trust me on that regard, because I am the king of silly. Ooh, looks like we got a war between the Polish and the Hungarians. The Poles also had the Romanians too, but they don't exist anymore. Bengals come back for their land. Oh, I think they're gonna get it very easily too, because I just saw not too long ago Nepal actually beat India too, and yeah, okay, well. Okay, once again, this is why we keep this activated. There you go. The AI doesn't really know how to handle peace conferences in vanilla, let alone in a mega campaign. Yeah, it is not looking too good for the Hungarians, I gotta say. The Poles are definitely giving them 1-2-1-2. I just don't know which spy I want. Do I go with the normal looking ones, or do I go with the rectangle? I think I'll go with the rectangle. There he is. The rectangle spy. I was just wondering when this was about to happen. Yeah, the French stand absolutely no chance. And I think the Scandinavians kicked them out of that faction too. So, the Belgians gonna roll over for... Oh, there goes Hungary. It's not the worst peace conference we've seen. They actually unified Romania too. Look at that. Wow. Romania got this land back up here, and they released Bulgaria. Don't think they're gonna get Mongol Bulgaria anytime soon though. It all just kicked off. The Romanian Concordat is now a faction with Colombia, Romania, I assume, and Poland and Belgium, the true faction of the world. But then the Golden Horde and Scandinavia just went to war too, and that is probably going to be the big one. The Americans are now taking all this colonial land, but that is... also put the British in the Romanian faction. Meanwhile, though, nobody is in France's faction. The European Pact is not very European. There it is. Giant Belgium was busy fighting their little wars. I'm going to go ahead and do what I should have done a very long time ago, and also carry on a very long tradition of our country of beating up Andalusia. Interested to know, does Africa still exist as a tag? Oh my god. You may remember them as the Viking nation that we birthed into North Africa that just kept dying, but once again, they are finally back. Syria's dying, and Bengal and China and Vietnam and the actual India are all at war. Okay, nice. I think I've decided who my enemy might be though, and it is definitely Belgium. Diplo pressured Germany back into my faction. Once again, the abusive relationship continues. So this means I can drag them into my war against Belgium. A little bit awkward. So I'm declaring war on Belgium, who was guaranteed by Hungary. Yeah, Hungary's gonna join. Now this is officially a world war, and my once birthed child America is coming back home. But completely forgot that in the faction called the Romanian Concordat, that the Romanians were actually in the faction. So the Belgians are using the old tested strategy of running into the brick wall until it breaks down. Our ancestors would have loved this. In fact, I'm loving this. It's technically just one giant human sacrifice. So it took me a little while to actually build some good planes, but as you can see, just my good fighters here. All the rest are all garbage ones I've just had left over. All my good ones here though are absolutely decimating them beyond belief. Even went ahead and renamed it to the Sky Raider. From the sea, came from the land, and now I'm in the sky, blowing up your planes. What's the most surprising here is that the Germans are actually holding on over there, but I also get the feeling that may have something to do with me and the massive amount of casualties I've caused on them. I also just noticed that Vietnam just got a hell of a lot bigger. The Golden Horde wants to join my faction. I mean, sure, I guess. Might as well drag Scandinavia into this too. Fueled the skies, the Belgian menace with the Sky Raiders were now commencing our operation to rid them of this world. You know, just ever since I've seen Belgium on the map, my day has just been ruined. And I have been recording this for multiple days now. Also, every single Belgian person is currently in the army. They are on scraping the barrel. They have taken 7 million casualties. Scandinavia now being in their faction and Golden Horde being in my faction does mean that the US is now getting invaded by secret Denmark. I can't believe that Denmark was the imposter this entire time. Not that there was anyone left in Belgium. They all died in the army. And now let's see if we can push east and link up with our allies, the Golden Horde, which I'm not even sure that this front line has moved the whole time these guys have been at war. And also, yeah, don't worry, the Ottoman Empire is still here. They're still thriving. They haven't done any of their focuses to expand, and they look like they never will. And, oh, it's 1945. Okay, that's why I have nuclear bombs. Sorry, boys, notice that you're all having fun starving to death over here between each other, but I'm just gonna have to put that to an end. I just want to say that I do not promote the fact that Germany looks this large on the map and has this much land. After what they have done throughout this entire mega campaign, this is not allowed. Scandinavia has capitulated, and as you can see, the Golden Horde truly is a shining beacon of piss. Our empire looking pretty good. The German Empire shouldn't exist, but we do need to capitulate Great Britain and also Colombia for some reason, and I I might as well give this a go. You know, why not? Right, UK, you remember when I invaded you last time? It was a long time ago, a few hundred years ago actually, but I'm back, here to crush the revolution once again. I really wish I had that nuke back in EU4, that's all I'm saying. UK dealt with. Now all we need to do is get to Colombia. Rest my army over to Yucatan already, and I got a war goal on these guys just to call them in so we can then essentially just walk all the way down to Colombia, although it's never going to be that simple because it never is. So Colombia, just gonna loosen you up a bit. Yeah, that wasn't quite London though, was it? I was wondering what happened to South Africa, but my puppet, my other puppet, South Africa, actually gets a focus to integrate them, which I guess that's kind of cool. Also, I haven't looked down here the entire game. There is an African front. It's not very interesting though. The breakthrough has finally happened. Will we be free from this very long war? Yes, we are free from that very long war. Okay, now I have a lot of decisions to make. There we go. After 1,000 years in the game, Germany has finally made it to Germany. I also accidentally gave Italian Sudan this area, so we're just gonna keep it like that, really. Also, alright, I don't want to alarm anyone, but I think the leader of Great Britain might be a little bit suspicious. There you go. After a war that literally left like 8 million Belgian people dead and like 17 million British and Scandinavian and Polish and Hungarians combined dead, I think it is definitely time to put the game to rest. I gotta say, I don't think the world map looks too bad. A lot of places were never really expanded on too much. Bengal and India are still in an endless war where they neither could break through this one little place. And yeah, Bengal and Dainam, who is Vietnam, they ain't looking too good. Hey, the rest of the world has been pretty neatly divided now. The US is absolutely huge and our best of buds. Considering we did create them, I think that's only fair. And the Empire of Jadvik is a human-sacrificing, horrible place to be. But we did do a lot of conquering, a lot of raiding, a lot of pillaging. Still haven't really probably made amends for the fact we did kill the Pope, but you know what? it is what it is. But I mean, I think the worst part about all of this is probably just the fact the Golden Horde just got to this point. But you know what? You gotta respect the hustle. And yeah, it's been a very interesting mega campaign this time around this year. We've had a lot of nations that disappeared and then kept reappearing in other places. And we've also got a lot of countries that you wouldn't think would survive this long. I mean, Syria, they've got Anatolia, at least the western half. We've got Mongol, Bulgaria. We've got the Ilkhanate still alive over here. India, just in general, is just confusing. One place that will always be boring, no matter the history there apparently, is South America. Literally nothing happened. Well, except like the 15 nukes I let off in Colombia, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta do it to them. But yes, alas, it has come to an end for another year, and if you very much enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe button down below, and I hope you all have a very happy holidays if you do celebrate it. If not, happy Tuesday, if this is a Tuesday. If not, happy Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or back to Tuesday. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the series this year, and we will be back next year for even more wacky shenanigans in EU4, CK3, Vic 2, and Hoi 4. It'll be great. Maybe. Oh, and of course, last shout out, if you guys want to go ahead and give yourself a mega campaign yourself for Christmas this year around, I'll leave all the converters, as usual, linked down below for you to get started. But now, it's time for me to delete these saves from my goddamn computer, because this is the most cursed game we've ever had.